Today I want to hit two birds with one stone. Share my Hornet F7A and Guardian MX builds while discussing the meta, or what I'd say are the best weapons for 4.8 in both PvE and PvP. I've also been meaning to put the Guardian MX against the Origin M80, so I'll throw in the F7A and make it a triple threat match. That's right, how does the medium Hornet F7A Mk II hold up against the heavyweight king, the Guardian MX, and the new hotshot on the block, the Origin M80? You're about to find that out and more. Heck, I reckon I'll even toss in an F8C and see where that takes us. 4 ships, 1 video, let's see who comes out on top and who crawls back to a hole. I've been sitting on this comparison for a while, and patch 4.8 finally gave me a reason to just do it. The meta has shifted enough that some of these answers might actually surprise you. Let's start with the weapons. In 4.8, PvE players are almost forced towards Deadbolts, because even at size 3, not even the laser variant, the M5, comes close to the sustained damage delivered by a Deadbolt 3. The energy economy just doesn't hold up when you're chewing through waves of Ninetales or Vandal. You will run dry, you will sit there waiting to cool down, and something will shoot you in the face. Don't do it to yourself. Needless to say, I run 2 Deadbolt 4s on the wings too, and it works great. How great exactly, you'll know in 5 minutes. The combination of that nose-mounted size 3 with the wing-mounted 4s gives you this beautiful overlap of fire that just absolutely melts anything short of a capital ship. It's deeply satisfying once you dial in the convergence. As for components, if you don't own any rare comps, I keep all the stock military grade C components apart from the quantum drive, which I like to upgrade to an Atlas at her L5. Everything else, leave it alone. The stock military grade stuff on the F7A is very solid and people sleep on that. You don't need to min-max every slot to have a ship that performs. Save your credits for the guns. As for PvP, you obviously want to grab some rare components before picking a fight, and not too concerned with larger targets, I would imagine. The moment you start trying to dogfight in 4.8 with a PvE build, you will feel it. The weapons that shred NPC shields feel sluggish and punishing to land on a real human pilot who's actually maneuvering. Completely different experience. If dogfighting other light or medium fighters in space is your game, it's all about that speed. Projectile speed, that is. CIG went and made them all slow. So if I know there's only 1 to 3 PvP enemies, I like the Sawbuck on S3s and AD4B on the wings. I'm bringing it back. People thought this combo was dead, and honestly, I get why. But in the right hands with good positioning, the faster projectiles punish anyone who thinks they can joust you predictably. Give it a shot before you write it off. I've flown the F7A Hornet Mk II more than any other ship in 4.8, so how does it compare to Star Citizen's 3 main heavies? I'm sure the Hornet will take any of them in a fair PvP fight, no problem. The agility alone gives you so many outs that heavier ships just can't replicate. You can dictate the engagement, break off when you need to, re-engage on your terms. That matters enormously. But we're talking PvE. How does the Hornet Mk II compare to the F8C, M80 and Guardian MX? Is it even worth upgrading to any of those? That's the real question. Because upgrading to a heavy fighter isn't just a money decision, it's a whole identity shift. You're flying differently, tanking differently, thinking about encounters differently. So let's actually dig into whether that trade-off pays off. Well, starting right out of the gate with the F8C, because fuck order, I've got to say, I've always liked how it flies, but it still just feels vastly underpowered. It's pretty tough, I'll give it that, but man, I can kill things in my Hornet 2 times faster, and some people call it pay to win, while others cry scam. The F8C has this reputation that I think the ship genuinely hasn't earned yet in its current state. The survivability is nice, but if you're not killing things efficiently, you're just tanking damage for longer. That's not a win condition. Then there's Origin's first heavy fighter, the M80. I mean, look at those details. As the ramp opens, you feel you're about to step into a mushroom trip. Bright lights, dual size 4 and 5 guns, and a whole lot of speed. Origin absolutely nailed the visual design here. This thing looks and feels like a ship that costs what it costs. Every cockpit interaction, every panel, it's just dripping with polish. It's definitely much better than the Anvil F8C, and while it technically has more firepower than the MX, I still prefer the Guardian because of those blast shields and powerful thrusters. The MX just has this brutal, no-nonsense energy that the M80 can't quite match in actual combat. The M80 is a great ship, but the Guardian feels more built for war specifically, not just built to look cool while shooting things. The MX also beats the bitch and yaw of the M80, who only has a better roll rate but less armor and deflection too. That said, the M80 is more the hit and run, hit fast, hit hard kind of fighter. I've just come to love the MX, especially when throwing 4 Deadbolts on there. In 4.8, it's as awesome as ever. 4 Deadbolts on a Guardian MX is just an obscene amount of ballistic DPS pointed in one direction. NPCs do not enjoy it. Larger targets crumble faster than you'd expect. It's one of those builds where you hit something and just go, ooh. Or throw Revenants on there and try some PvP. Another cool thing about the Guardian MX is that you don't really need to upgrade any of the stock military grade C components apart from the quantum drive. I switched to a Chimera and the 4 weapons of choice. The fact that you can fly this thing relatively stock and still be competitive says a lot about the base platform. It's a forgiving ship to get into without blowing your entire in-game bank account. Let's face it, in 4.8 your choice is Deadbolts. But be cool and rock some Revenants just because. There's something to be said for not running the exact same loadout as everyone else in the verse. And Revenants have this aesthetic quality in combat. That sound, the visual, it just feels different. With the occasional PvP bounty just for the vibe, honestly. So how does the F7A stack up against the MX then? As much as I love the durability advantage the Guardian MX has over the Hornet, the F7A Mk II is just so incredibly lethal that it's hard to ignore. The damage output per second in the right hands is seriously alarming. You don't feel like you're missing firepower even when you're sitting next to a ship with physically larger weapons. That's a testament to how well CRG tuned the Hornet. Here's a crazy thought for those wondering about the F7A or F7C Mk II versus the M80. Well, suppose we throw full Deadbolts on both. Some Hornets get 4111 DPS compared to the M80's 4306. Think about it. And if you don't have one, you can get an F7A free in-game from executive hangars, but that's easier said than done. It's a grind and the availability isn't always consistent, but if you've got the patience for it, the F7A is one of the best value propositions in the current game for pure combat performance per credit spent. There's also always the F7CS Hornet Ghost Mk II you can purchase with in-game AUEC. But getting back to the weapons, I found that the Attritions are maybe making a comeback. So definitely try those out, especially if you can get the Ardor salvaged repeater somewhere. The energy meta shifts patch to patch, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see a world where running all ballistics isn't the automatic answer anymore. Keep an eye on it, keep testing, and as always, fly dangerous.